Lucy, Claire, and I are walking down the street on our way home. Well, I don't know where he might be. Never mind. This is 1000 Lies, and my name is PolishLynx. Welcome. We left Oz behind. He lives in the opposite direction and was also unusually indisposed after the enigmatic events that had transpired with the substitute teacher. I didn't have time to tell him that I'll pay him back whenever I have the money. I thought he'd be happier since that teacher is even kind of attractive. I choose not to think about it any longer. I'm not nosy and I know that Oz, despite how annoying he is at times, wouldn't bug me about things when I seem unfit for it. I'm going down the stairs. Hallway down the street. There are 4 stone steps that connect to a perpendicular street. Claire goes down the stairs with 4 small jumps. I suspect that she announced it so loudly so that I can't accuse her of stalking me today, since I also have to go down those stairs to get to my house. I say goodbye to Lucy, but before going down the first step, I stop and turn around, barely noticing that she appears to be tense. Hey CR, I was wondering. Every morning, we both have to pass this crossing to get to our respective schools, don't we? Yeah, we've probably passed each other without noticing it more than once. That's what I was thinking. I pass here every morning, so I must have seen you coming up these stairs in the past. It's a shame that after so much time, it had to be right before we graduate school that we met, don't you think? You wouldn't have paid much attention to a stranger greeting you in the middle of the street anyways. That's still a lot better than the way we ended up meeting. I should have thought you were a robber or something much worse. Touché. We both smiled, probably because we both assumed that we won't meet again until the graduation ceremony. We stare at each other for a few seconds in silence. Neither of us have anything to say. We're embarrassed, or maybe scared, waiting for the other to speak. See ya, CR. Until next time, Lucy. I bid her farewell with a wave, then walk down the stairs. From below, I look up at Lucy. She's still waving goodbye to me and walking that sumptuous and prideful way of hers before disappearing out of sight. When I look forward, I notice that Claire is standing next to me, sticking to me like a shadow and following me with short, quick steps. She's always by my side. I'm still intoxicated by the events that took place between us earlier in the music room. Times only managed to make her words even more corrosive. And the conversation right now would sound fake or untrue, especially when all of my thoughts are filled only with memories. It's hot, isn't it? How are you going to revert to how you were before I sent you the emails, at least until we graduate? That's what you think. Nothing can return to how it was, in my opinion. And you're right, that's why heroes who fight to bring peace back to the world are fictional. Do you always have to use the most bizarre analogies you can come up with? It's true, for even our memories adapt to our nostalgia when it benefits us most. You, for example, you'll have to decide if those stairs will still be used for empty meetings or not. Strangers or friends, each will make a different decision and the consequences. We'll have to see. The brim of her hat closed her entirely, but I can see, still, her hurrying motions. How long has it been? How long will it take? The apparent chaos, without any order, extends to in front of my eyes. It silently walks among the noisy streets filled with bustling students. Can I hear something among the crowd? Voices of the distant past, or answers from the future? I don't know. I can know. That's how it has always been, and how it will be this time too. Even if we are entering the final chapter. Is that so? Holy crap. Alright. Reaching the Sun, Chapter 3. Real. So foretold the tales that once upon a time there was a wolf without past or memory who wanted to reach the sun. Hey you! Hurry! Come with me! A voice wafted through the tree branches without any clear origin. Yeah, you, I talk to you, who has? There's someone else here, genius, come on, follow me! The wolf was astonished. He could see something moving among the treetops, whilst the voice grew instant. Before he lost it, the wolf followed it until he reached the foot of the mountain, a dead goat lying at the base. Help yourself, it's your dinner! The voice took shape in front of the dead animal. The source was an apathetic crow with a limp body. He stood out quite a bit because, unlike other crows, he was grey. The wolf, however, was feeling reluctant about accepting the goodwill of the crow. Are you not only clumsy but also stupid? The crow complained. Eat it so that I can take the leftovers. The wolf wondered why the crow would need him to do something like that. Thanks, Steve, I'm a bird. How in the world do you expect me to eat the meat? With a knife and fork? You seem to be new to this. The wolves and crows have always helped each other with these things. The wolf couldn't help but bow his head. He barely knew how to live within a wolf pack. Hey, I'm so treated different because I'm grey, and I'm not complaining. I don't even care what your name is, so long as you open our body here and allow him to rest in my belly. I'm just a wolf, he replied, and that's... Look, you could be a seagull for all I care, the crow said in an irritated tone. You're a wolf, and when I present you with corpses, you tear them asunder. We make a perfect team. We can take a picture to commemorate the epic moment and create a website that chronicles the great adventures of the howling wolf and the rejected crow. The wolf nodded. He was about to do as was asked of him and encroach upon the ghost corpse. Before he began to rip it apart, he realized something. The crow was a huge bird. He could probably fly quite high above. So out of curiosity, the wolf asked the crow if he happened to know how to reach the sun, or if he had visited the sun before. Yeah, and I also have 3 legs. Are you honestly trying to drive me insane? The crow was outraged. No, I haven't been that far, nor have I tried. You must be crazy to actually want to go there. But if you're so willing, then why don't you climb atop the mountain and see what you can find out there? The wolf hadn't noticed something so simple. He had tried even worse things before, so it might not be such a bad idea. In any case, I doubt you will accomplish anything. The crow's words puzzled the wolf, and caused him to tilt his head. It's not a question of whether or not I believe you can reach the sun. It's quite obvious that I don't want to oppose the one standing over my meal. The crow shrugged and sighed in annoyance. It's that the mountain is quite vast, and I don't think you will be able to reach the summit. It exhausts me just looking at it, and I can fly. Imagine your own situation when you walk in such an odd manner. It's important to distinguish between reality and illusion, you know? That's my motto. The wolf didn't wish to speak with the crow any further. His own aspirations and the ones of his grey acquaintance were completely different. There was no more reason to discuss it. The wolf asked one last question out of curiosity, and the crow replied angrily. Why do you care? I won't confirm whether or not that's my name. You're quite noisy. In the same mood, after their dinner, the wolf and the crow bid each other farewell, each going their separate way. That is how the wolf came to begin climbing up the mountain. At first it wasn't too difficult, but it became harder and harder. The mountain's path was erratic and confusing. The wolf got lost easily and was often unsure if he was following the correct path. As he went up, the temperature became more frigid, and it became more difficult to breathe. The incline of the slopes grew, and the wolf was unable to find another path from which to advance. He sought out a place to rest, but was attacked by a bear. He tried to run away, but only managed to get injured and further complicate his situation. Some days passed, and the crow was right. It was impossible for the wolf to reach the summit. He was exhausted, disoriented, and injured. How? He wondered. How can the sun bring happiness when it's unreachable? After so many attempts, he had accomplished nothing at all. The sun was so distant, its existence was so difficult to believe in, something so implausible cannot bring joy. The wolf was about to give up. No empty promise of happiness, or the sun itself, justified such a risk. And he was also alone. There was no one standing next to him. No pack, no friends, not even a past, or memories. Only one future lay ahead. Death. If I'm going to die, then I must at least try. That's my decision. So foretold the tales that once upon a time there was a wolf without a past, or memory who wanted to reach the sun. So basically a story without an ending, actually. Because we don't know if he did manage to do that or not. Alright, chapter 5 of 1000 Lies, let's go. Probably the last chapter, if I remember correctly. A phase of my life is coming to an end. It's a time when adults are at ease with their children as they present us with that one simple sentence, intended to open up a fresh conversation. How are your grades doing? But this year it's difficult for us. There's a second question they can ask without worrying about the answer for the first question. What will you study now? It's the most important moment of our lives. The intersection where our destinies will be decided. A time of goodbyes and new beginnings. That's what everyone says. Anyways, I think they are exaggerating. When you're like me, average grades, average looks, normal prospects and interest, that I at least managed to feign being normal as well, then those questions fail to concern me. You'll be perfectly fine, everyone thinks, without any kind of pressure or drama. Life goes by quickly, no twists or turns. You can summarize your life in a few lines and use it as a transition to your next biggest life event. That next event for us is in the graduation party that those of us in the committee prepared. It started early this morning at the gates of Dujan Institute, rather at my old school. Compañero, you're late! I greet us just as I begin to yell. He's carrying two large, conspicuous, sturdy briefcases into the main building of Dujan. May I ask what you guys are doing with those things? No idea, I'm just following the boss's order. You already know about how she insisted that we didn't know anything about her plans. Go see her. She's been waiting for you for a while. I'll be there in a minute. Old Sleeve parting with a miraculous maneuver. He uses to open the gates of the school with his feet, since his hands are full. I take in my surroundings, my view mostly filled with students making their way across the school grounds. It's not like there are many people here, but it could still be considered a success, considering the expectations I had for it. Usually, on graduation day, the students only receive their diplomas and listen to a couple of speeches in the auditorium. That's how it was for my schools. Later in the day, the grads can prove that they are truly adults now by doing something that's reserved only for adults. Exactly, getting as drunk as a skunk. They may even be going to a nightclub seemed too boring for our committee, so we decided to add a small morning competition between the two participating schools. We're supposed to compete amongst ourselves in one way or another, and from what I've heard, there may even be some commemorative prizes. The problem is that, although I'm one of the committee members, I have no idea what's going to happen. I only came here to lend a hand with whatever I may be needed for. It's not like I'm slacking off or anything. I've already helped them out with some vital tasks. Honestly, I didn't think anyone in their right mind would wake up this early to come to school on a day without classes. Where am I supposed to go now? It seems like I'm not the only one making a lost puppy face this morning though. I see Claire pacing around and in her hands she's carrying flyers. She flails them around in a vain attempt at disrupting them amongst the passerby. All that she manages to spout are intermittent monosyllables, to which nobody listens. After several failed attempts, she crouches and conceals herself under her hat. It's a bit sad, so I decide to approach and comfort her. Whole way there, I regret it and stop walking. It's been a while since the last time we saw each other and spoke. I don't know what I could say. It's not that I'm nervous. Well, maybe a little. It's complicated. It'd be best if I leave her alone. It's too late to waste more time. Sir! It almost seems as if Claire somehow teleported herself next to me. She grasps my shirt and looks at me with her tearful eyes. Oh, Claire, I did not see you. How are you? They told me to disregard all of this, but nobody's listening to me. I tried. Well, more or less. You catch my drift. It's just that these people are so impolite. I see. Is something wrong, Sir? No, Delo. Why did you think that? You would usually take this opportunity to laugh at me and then say something like, what I don't understand is how no one has taken you the lost key in the area yet. I never finish my sentence with heh. Don't make things up. It's the only way I could come up with to intimate that odd smile you make when you're trying to sound cynical. I bring my hands up to my face and press my fingers against my lips, but I immediately realize that Claire is just messing with me. Don't be so serious, silly. It's going to be a long day. We have plenty of time, don't we? Yeah, I guess so. Regardless, you should have gotten here sooner. The rest of us have been doing all of the work by ourselves. And I'm sure that you haven't met up with the boss yet. Theoretically, I'm looking for her. Take it to her. I know where she is. Shouldn't you be passing out those flyers? I don't want to interrupt your work. Do you really think I'll be able to pass out a single one? No way. Let's go. A normal person would have at least tried to cheer me up, boo. But that's good. It means that you're back to normal. Follow me. Claire leads me out to the schoolyard. It's a large outdoor area with several fields set aside for football. Alright, I don't really care how you call it, to be honest. For soccer, football, same thing. Basketball, and even track and field. I don't see that place for track. Is it going over here? This small area? Maybe. Alright. Long past are the years where the stands were inhabited by spectators for sporting events of all kinds. This place has been seen better times, but in the hands of the carefree students' generation it's a success that it remains standing. I realize where my destination is as soon as we arrive at the yard, and I see a huge crowd of students, mainly male. She's there! I'm staying on the sidelines! I give you moral support! You just don't want to fight your way through that sea of men. Partially, yes. On the other hand, I'd rather observe everything from afar. That's just a nice way of saying that you enjoy watching me suffer. Claire laughs. I take it as her way of confirming my suspicion. I drop my shoulders, accepting my destiny. I salute Claire as if I'm in the army before rushing into the heart of the storm. It takes me 10 minutes to cover my feet. On the other side of the crowd, there's a wooden stand with tons of cables surrounding it. They appear to be connected to different electronic devices, half of which I can't even identify. Sitting in the very center of the crowd is the supreme mastermind of this whole event, Ziva Shani. Quick, Engine! Give me an adjective! The busy woman asks me an odd question without even looking at me. It makes me wonder if she caught a whiff of my scent or if she has eyeballs attached to the back of her head. Ultra! Everyone knows that the best adjective is ultra. Alright! Ziva writes something down on a piece of paper and immediately looks to her right, pointing towards the person standing next to her. Your turn! This! Give me a noun! It? Dennis, who was resting his arm on top of the wooden stand, exhaustedly raises his head. He gives Ziva an unsure reply before going back to sleep. Seriously, if I had to define that guy's worst sin, it would be difficult to choose between sloth and gluttony. It is a verb, this. Ah, well, I can use it anyways. Us! Give me another noun! Oz appears out of nowhere, as if he'd just fallen from heavens. He squats down for a second before standing up and walking towards Ziva. He must have injured his ankles if he jumped down from the second or third floor. I'm positive he's hiding the pain to try to look more manly. Boop! The correct answer is boobs! Was there a wrong answer? Great, so we're ready now. The three of you will be called the Ultra Boob Eaters! Objection! I know what you're talking about. You were late and I needed people for the first competition, so I had to team you up with those two. What has been written cannot be changed. Prepare yourself and go to the starting point. The challenge begins in 5 minutes. Ziva doesn't listen to my complaints. She stands up, picks up a microphone, and announces something throughout the entire school using the loudspeakers. How are my favorite guys? Fine, I'm happy because we're finally about to start the very first and super secret trial of the competition between Enate and Dujan Institute. Anyone who isn't participating, please sit in the stands. You'll be able to watch everything on those big screens. It's going to be tremendous, dramatic, incredible, unforgettable day, and description I can think of falls short. So please, do everything you can so that those of us who are graduating today can live with the brightest memories possible. Thank you. Anything for you, Ziva! We love you, Ziva! Marry me, Ziva! I knew about her properly before, but this surpasses my expectations. Now I understand why my prediction for the attendance was miscalculated, especially when it comes to all of the men here. It's because the committee's boss is able to move the masses with only a wing. Although I'm looking at the display of equipment and organization, it's pretty clear that it's not only because of her pretty face. She not only has immense charisma, she has immense talent. I'm also a committee member, and I didn't even know what she had planned for the day. I have no idea whatsoever where she got the budget for those big screens and all those electronic devices. I should feel bad about leaving all of that work to her, but it's not like I didn't offer to help her before, and besides, Ziva has been acting weird around me for a while now, plus she kept me in the dark about all of her plans for today. It's not like our friendship was bad, it's just that our conversation became too normal. She stopped psychoanalyzing me, and every opportunity, for some reason. Now our relationship has become normal, and at the same time is keeping us distant. So just stand the company, follow me inside, the starting point is on the 4th floor. What? Wait a second. Stride? Is it Stride? Alright, without the strength to resist him, I follow Oz and the rest of the team inside the building. While we go up to the stairs, I notice other groups of 3 waiting in different points, each team surrounded by disturbing atmosphere. Alright, it's not Stride. But what is it? It seems like each of the team are whispering, passing on different secrets. It seems as if all of the participants' eyes reflect in their inner bloodlust. It seems that everyone wants to steal my prize. How naive. I look at Oz, wondering what he's talking about. Then he seems to read my mind and give me an answer. You don't know because you got here late, but during that introduction, Ziva announced the prize for this competition, and there was a pretty big commotion about it. Is it that good? Anything you could guess falls apart, compañero. It's the best prize that a man could ask for, and of course, I'm destined to win it. I turn to this. Is it that good? Don't ignore me! It really is a great prize. Can't believe that once people start to talk about it, some outsiders started to show up. Participation should be restricted to students, but I get the feeling that more than one stranger has entered. I don't know how it happened. I bet you were in charge of registration. How did you guess? Of course. We huddle in far corner on the 4th floor. There we find one of the big black briefcases that Oswald had been carrying earlier. On it there's a label with a disgusting team name Ultra Boob Eaters on it. Did she know what our name would be beforehand or what? While I read the pieces of paper into tiny scraps, I look at my 2 teammates. So then, is someone going to tell me what the great prize is? Both of them try to speak at the same time, but they are suddenly interrupted by a metallic voice coming out from the loudspeakers. I can see that you're ready, so without further ado, let's begin this thing! If our words seem strange to me, I look up at the ceiling and notice that there are a few cameras placed around the building, meaning that all of us are probably being monitored. I probably guess that those briefcases that correspond to each team, well, you can open them now. Please use the following passcode to do so. Ziva announces a 3-digit code several times, like when they announce lottery numbers on television, but due to the complex code input system, our Dane briefcases take a couple tries until I can finally crack it open. I'm sorry, we used such a complex security system, but it was necessary so that nobody would end up being hurt. The 3 of us curious take a peek inside of our briefcase. We can't believe what we find inside the big black box. What we find shoved inside the pad interior are 2 firearms. The first round is for competition between our schools is a team deathmatch. Oh yes! Let's do it. We exchange worried looks with furrowed brows. The seriousness in our eyes says everything. Then we all agree, right? The 3 of us nod in unison. Then we officially proclaim this event as the worst cliffhanger in history. Come on, don't be like that! I want to make it exciting! Is she answering to us personally? Is she actually listening to us? Yes, Oz, I can hear you. Holy crap! The weapons were obviously, as one would expect, airsoft replicas. Ziva wanted to give us all a bit of scare with the guns, but I'm more concerned by the fact that she's watching and listening to everything we do with that surveillance system. It's like Big Brother. Although our audience is probably more scared, rather scared, from watching us make bodybuilder poses to the cameras. From what Ziva says, what we're going to play is a survival type game where we'll have to defend ourselves with these replica firearms and work together as a team. But isn't something off? Why are there 2 guns for 3 people? The game will be divided into 3 sections of 15 minutes each. If your team hasn't gotten any kills in a round, you'll be eliminated. Sir, you are the one who knows the most about guns. How are we going to do this? All I've learned is from movies and video games. Don't think too highly of me. The shotgun is an M3 and the submachine gun is a P90. We're lucky because both of them are useful indoors, especially the shotgun, although the P90 silencer can come in handy in concealing our position if there's enough background noise. To shoot, you first need to unlock the safety and put it into either automatic or semi-automatic mode. If you pull the trigger down halfway in automatic mode, it will shoot semi-automatically and... Got it! Now that you've showed us your power level, can you get to the point? You're lucky that I'm giving you the shotgun. Because Dennis is falling asleep, I explained to us how to reload and prepare the weapon. Now he only has to pull the trigger to shoot. Jesus Christ, are you alright, CR? It went off by itself, I swear! What was that noise? What's CR doing on the floor? Why is he coughing up blood? You can consider yourself dead and out of the game once you're being shot. These secret cameras will help us monitor that nobody's cheating. As some of you have probably already noticed, those weapons aren't lethal. Still, their hits will hurt a lot, so please wear the security glasses that you will find inside each of the briefcases at all moments. And don't worry, at the end, the game doesn't start until I don't give the signal, so we're still in the game. That only works if he's still alive. Say something, compañero! The desert! I can see it. I'm enacting a Gulf War once again. No, he's hallucinating! You weren't even born until after it had ended. Each school will receive points based on the amount of players from each school who survived until the end. I'll be awarding extra points to those who score the largest amount of player skills as well. All clear? Oh, let's go for the perfect result again. All clear, right? Then what are we waiting for? Let's go! Deep silence blankets the entire school. Team Ultra Boob Eaters takes our time to react as well. What are you all waiting for? The timer has already started. Go, go! Alright. In unison, the roar of all the players resounds against the walls, accompanied by the echoes of first bloods and gunfire. Anyways, do we have plan? Owls and genies focus their attention on me. Over 30 years of experience on different battlefields and for what? War never changes, and today is no different. CR's gone nuts! If you want to survive, then follow me. First, we must find a secure hideout. Then we would let the foolish among them kill each other. At least it seems like you're taking this seriously, CR. That's Commander Engine to you, maggot! Sir, yes sir! Okay. The upper floors of the schools are probably the worst place for anyone to try to survive. All the middle areas of the school are open spaces. They are the perfect spots for snipers. The narrow hallways in between are perfect places for ambushes. We can only count the ends of the building and the bottom floor as places for fair finds. Everyone else seems to have the same idea for, and our only escape routes are teeming with enemies. Curiously, some people have been trying to climb up to the upper floors, creating a brutal clash with no survivors on the staircase. Who in their right mind would actually want to come up here anyways? We try to apply pressure to our enemies to create an escape route, but the powerful cover fire flying about prevents us from advancing and we're forced to pull back. Our efforts were all for nothing. Our largest success is when we managed to snatch a couple of guns from the two enemies, who were killed off after an insane kamikaze attack. Now all three of us on Team Ultra Boob Eaters are armed, but our ammo is still finite. If we keep trying to push forward without a plan, we'll soon run out. And what's more, we can hear voices coming from the center of the building. Someone managed to pass through the sniper zone and we're going to be surrounded any second. Quick, open the door. We'll barricade ourselves inside. It's locked, we can't get in. Locked? Doors don't mean shit, I'll take care of it. Lockpicking. I managed to force open the lock in record time, and the three of us rush inside an empty classroom. We block the doorway as soon as possible. As we hold our breath, we hear the distinct sound of two people jogging through the hallway beyond the door. For a second, I thought they were about to try to get in, but they probably won't try it with me here. Your speeding handling that lock wasn't too shabby either, Compañero, why are you opening fire on this wall? I turn my neck towards us and raise a thumb in approval. Don't worry, I activated the wall hack. Too bad I can't see their faces while I kill them through this wall. No hints, this is a video game! We lost him for good. While I wonder why I'm unable to open the terminal to input cheat codes, we hear the sound of footsteps in the hallway, followed by a loud voice that seems to be trailing the 2 steps of footsteps. It's obvious that someone's in danger, and at that moment, Oz notices something pretty important. It's a hottie! Another crazy one! Can I just take a nap here and wait until the clock runs out? I'm sure about it. On the team that just passed us, there was a hottie. I knew it the moment I heard the sound of her delicate footsteps. She's in danger, and I'm the only one who can hear her nails groans amongst the shooting, the softness of her lips, begging for my help. I'm pretty sure that you're just projecting your expectations on the situation. But sure, go ahead. Good night. Lynx accommodates himself on top of one of the desks, entering a dream world where he can ignore us. Sierra mi buen hombre, our paths divide here. Oz grabs my shoulders and fixes his eyes on me, his heart reflected in them. Sierra, I may not come back alive if I live. You need to know that I will always be with you. Every time you close your eyes and think of me, you will be able to see it clearly. The moments that will always represent our friendship. Yeah. Of course. Well, obviously, those memories didn't really represent our friendship. They weren't even in the original version. The hell was that language? Farewell, compañero? No, amigo mío. I'm being serious. They could have at least had English subtitles. Slamming the door behind him, Oz runs out with his shotgun against his shoulder. He takes solid strides with a composed face. He stops not too far away and he raises his voice, the sound filled with passion. Well, what do we have here? Has nobody ever taught you how to treat a lady? On the other side of the hallway, you can see the mangled bodies of other players. Hiding behind the pillar next to them, someone's covering their head with their arms and intensely shaking. The reason behind it is a large man with a machine gun in his hands. After listening to Oz's mockery, he turns around, gritting his teeth and mumbling. I'm sorry, but the bawling ends here. I won't die if there's a lady in distress. The man looks angry and tired of Oz's babbling. He prepares his gun and starts shooting. It's useless. Oz avoids the hail of bullets with ease. His movements are elegant and the projectiles fly past him effortlessly, as if he could somehow see them in a slow motion. His enemies at loss for words, unable to react at once. Once his magazine is empty, it should be impossible to dodge such a large burst of bullets in a narrow hallway. Oz stands in front of his confused adversary, looking at him through the corner of his eye. He aims to the bar of his shotgun at his opponent's stomach and then whispers a simple explanation. How did I do it? Simple. It was the power of love! Boom. Oz proceeds with a calm demeanor. Several seconds later, his chunky rival collapses into a heap on the floor, both his body and mind shattered. Oz leaves his gun behind. He won't need it anymore. He crouches next to the person hiding behind the pillar. They'd seen everything. Are you right? Can you stand up? Don't worry, it's all over now. Parting their hands from their face, they revealed their delicate, tender faces, accompanied by their short hair and sensitive eyes. It was as if they could break at any moment. Oz's heartbeat accelerates from being presented such beauty. Every man has always dreamed of having such an encounter. Now, after so many years of chivalry under his belt, it's finally Oz's turn. My name is Oz Edwine. It's a pleasure to meet you. Tell me, what's your name? Oz offered his hand to her, a pleasant smile plastered on his face. My name is James! Eh? Not Jennifer? Of course not. I'm a dude! You just activated my trap card! Oz begins shaking as he stands and picks up the shotgun that he had dropped moments earlier. First he couldn't guess anyone's ages, and now this. It doesn't make any sense if guys can qualify for his attractive woman standards as well. There shouldn't be a god couple of such a creation. And now his life ceases to have meaning. Back in the classroom, Dennis and I managed to hear Oz's last shot ring out. I already warned him. Some people really aren't bright. I loved my head, lost in thoughts and unable to say anything to Dennis. So he was a friend after all. I should have been more careful with my wording. I can't help but to be worried. I've been thinking, and what if that flashback actually was the original version and we're being dubbed over right now without realizing it? True. What the hell are you talking about? Never mind. Let's end. Alright, the first 15-minute section comes to an end. Ziva announces the teams that have been eliminated for not getting any kills through the PA system. She only mentions a couple names, and we aren't included in them. Luckily, Oz managed to get a kill earlier, so we can keep on going, if there's any value in that. Without much interest in the current event, Innocent and I languished inside the classroom for a few minutes. We were unable to break the uncalled silence. This room even feels tense to an extent. It shouldn't be like this since Dennis seems to be asleep. Or at least that's what I thought until he starts talking, breaking the silence. And let's see how he managed to break the silence in the next episode actually. And in the next we'll continue with this deathmatch as well. So see you then. Bye bye.